country.
No. City. Cities.
30.
Leaders.
Leader
Made.
made a concession on the
Extra
matter.
matter. Extradition matter.
Descent.
Extra.
Extradition.
Descent. Yes.
Matter.
Matter. Very good. Extradition matter. Concession.
มันมองมันไกลมันไม่เห็น
Oh, can you see better now? Okay.
Okay.
Fan with the ed, how to pronounce? Just the on it.
Just a little bit of a riot police fanned. Not fanned. Not fanned. Fanned.
It's not
Fan.
fan or not
No.
like that.
No ed. No ed in this case. Fanned. It's like fanned. Just the lightest little. It takes you from the present time. The police are fanning out right now. What are the police doing right now? They're fanning out across Hong Kong, going everywhere. Boom, 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 fanning out. And what did the police do yesterday? Oh, the police fanned out across Hong Kong. Fanned out. A fan. You turn on, would you please turn on the fan? Oh, yes, sir.
Hello.
Right, and the fan, and the wind blows all across the room. They fanned out. It's just an expression, the use of the word. You can have a fan in your hand. Oh, it's very hot. Oh no, it's a lot better with my fan. Or you can have an electric fan that turns on. Or you can be a fan. What does that mean? You can be a fan.
Beat
What?
or beat?
Be a fan. That man is a fan of the Oakland Athletics. Oh, really? Wow. Whoa. That man is a fan. And there are many fans that will be attending the game.
Fan. Someone like you, love you, admire you.
Well, in a way, love, admire, yeah, like. A fan is a term used to describe a person, or fans to describe people who like a certain team in a certain sport. In America, there are many baseball fans.
Type of fan.
Fans. It comes from the word fanatic. Fanatic is a crazy person. He's a fanatic. He's just crazy about that group. So, and then they shorten it to fan. So you'll hear this will be used all the time. How many people were at the baseball game in Oakland today? Oh, there were 24,816 fans. People supporting, supporting the Oakland Athletics. 24,806 fans showed up for the game today. The A's have many fans throughout Oakland and throughout the country, the United States. Many fans.
Sorry, we can say fan or fan.
I am a fan of the Oakland A's. I am a fan of the Thailand soccer team or football club or whatever. I am a fan. I support them. Oh, I think they're wonderful. Why, that's the best team I've ever seen in Bangkok in years. I'm such a big fan.
แฟนคลับ
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 เสียงมันออกเหมือนกันเลยอ่ะ
นั่นไม่ติดเป็นแฟนคลับ
A fan club. A fan club
เสียงไม่ได้
is a group of people that meet all the time to talk about the team and to celebrate the games and have parties after the game. Oh yeah, that's the Oakland Athletics fan club. They meet every Tuesday at this time to talk about the athletics or whatever. Any other questions about the words up here or the pronunciation of the words?
Thwarted.
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 Thwart, T-H. At the end of the word is wart, and then you have thwart, to stop. The protesters had plans to go to the airport, and the riot police thwarted the plan. Stop. No airport for you people. They thwarted the plans of the protesters. Stop. Any other questions? Okay, we'll move ahead. I'll keep an eye out on the newspapers reporting on the Hong Kong thing, and we'll begin the class with a few sentences about that next time too. Any other questions, fanatic, or anything like that? Fanatic, the person's a fanatic. He's crazy about those Oakland Athletics. Oh gosh, whoa. He is a real fan.
I don't understand. Pro-democracy is the one word or one word?
It's a hyphenated word.
Pro-democracy.
Yeah. You can be anti-democracy, against anti-democracy, against democracy, but you can be pro-democracy, for democracy. Anti, against, pro, for.
From promote something. Is it from promote?
Pro, you could be pro and con. Pro is for, con or anti is against. Pro and con. Anti-democracy protesters. In other words, protesters against democracy. They don't want democracy. They want the king forever and that's it. No elections, none of this. Whereas on the other hand, pro-democracy, they are for democracy. They want to be able to elect the people to run the country or whatever. Pro, anti. A-N-T-I. Anti-democracy. In this case, pro-democracy. Any other questions about that?
Look like this problem is not resolved.
Right. The fact they're protesting as of today. Still, it was supposed to, but as the head protester Joshua Wong, you might have seen his picture on TV this morning, was arrested again.
Why?
So, because he's the guy that they want to stop. So you're under arrest.
President of China waiting for something.
Well, they don't, I think if it was a different situation in a different city, the Chinese might have sent in the troops, but Hong Kong is a little bit too sensitive to just send in the troops and that's it, boom. So they're letting it go. But it hasn't ended yet. So we'll see, we'll follow it, see what happens. Any other questions about the words, the meaning, the pronunciation? Thwarted. They thwarted the protesters. Stop. Okay? get some. Some of the words that I wrote on the Hong Kong situation were, when you look at them, whoa, they look scary, difficult. But if you think about them for a couple of minutes, or a minute or two, it starts to be not so bad. Extradition, when you look at it for the first, oh my gosh, what's that? Oh, what? Extradition. Extradition. The words can be broken down into parts where you can then figure them out. Concession. Concession. It's almost like the C in that, with the second C in that word is an S. Concession. It's C-O-N-C, but it's pronounced like C-O-N-S. Concession. So even though the word looks scary the first time you see it, it can be broken down, separated a little bit. Extradition. Extradition. Not so bad. Okay. Show. 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 Push. 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 Shove. 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 Glad. Glad. Sad. Sad. Yeah, remember the key is to finish the words. Always remember, don't stop halfway through. Finish the word. Show, push, shove, glad, sad. What does it mean, sad?
Not happy.
Not happy. Something happened,
Upset.
not good.
Upset.
Upset, yeah, upset, sad, unhappy. Something went wrong. I'm very sad about what happened. I missed the flight. I missed my plane to Hong Kong. I can't go. So I feel very sad. Sad, not happy in a way. What about glad? Happy. Yeah. Boy, I'm glad I made my flight to Hong Kong. I'm the happiest guy in the world. I almost missed it. I'm so glad I made it. Whoa, wow. Yeah, to be happy. He's glad. Did this happen? Something good happened and you're happy. I'm glad. And I can be glad for you. Oh, you got a free trip to San Francisco? Oh, I'm very glad for you. I'm very happy for you. I'm glad that you got that trip. Happy, glad, sad, unhappy, depressed maybe even. Depressed. Show.
Display.
Oh yeah, display to let me show you this. Oh, have you seen my new watch? Let me show you. Let me show you my book. Show. Display. Or you can put on a show. They put on a show at the theater, a musical show with singers and dancers, and it was a great show. They showed everybody they can sing and dance. A show. Please show me that. Show me what you that thing you have there, that pencil. That's very nice. Show me that. Show. Push.
Game show.
Game show. Well, that's another show. Push. Yeah, push.
Octopus.
Pushing, I'm pushing the cart down the street. He's pushing. To push the cart down the street. To push. Yeah. What is shove? Shove.
Pork.
Yeah, pretty close to poke in a way. Shove. You're walking through, there's a group of people standing there. And some people would be very polite and say, oh, excuse me, I want to get through the crowd. I'm sorry. Excuse me, please. There's a whole group of people here. It's very crowded. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. And that's one type of person.
It means
A second type of person may not be so nice. I want to go from here to that door. There are 30 people standing all through here. I'm sorry, I have to leave. Push, push, push. Shove, push, get out of the way. He shoved me and left the room. To shove is to push. There is an expression, when push came to shove. In other words, when things got worse, there's a push, and then there's a shove. He shoved me out of the way and I fell on the floor. I couldn't believe it. He was in such a hurry to leave the room, he shoved me right on the floor. Push came to shove means that things got worse. They started out, boop, 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 and then all of a sudden, boop, boop, and then, push came to shove. So things got worse. Started out as a little this, a little that, and then it came down, and push came to shove. So you have show, display, push, shove, glad, happy, and sad. I missed my plane. I'm sorry.
broken heart.
Got broken-hearted, right? Yeah, correct. In a way, broken-hearted, really sad. Not just a little bit sad. Woo-hoo, broken-hearted. Destroyed. Any questions about the words? Pronunciation? Shove. Shove. Of, like O-F, of, shove. Of, shove. V. Shove. 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 A lot of times, to make it clear, I'll make it like it's a bigger deal. Shove, but it's just shove. Shove. Please don't shove that chair. Shove.
Give me apology.
Right, the apology. Oh, good, apology. That was yesterday. Any questions about these words? Okay. Show.
โทรศัพท์วันนี้แบตเสื่อมเปลี่ยนอันได้ใช่ครับไม่ใช่เปลี่ยนแบตนะเข้าแล้วเหรออ๋อดีมือสองนี้ครับ
Okay, here's another little group here to go over. Borrow. Return. Lend. Stop. Yield.
Teacher eating coffee.
Goodbye. See you next week.
เด็ก
Next week? Okay.
Key minute what minute
Right. Next week. Borrow.
Borrow.
What is borrow?
Borrow your money.
Borrow money. I want to steal your money. I'll borrow it if you lend it to. To borrow is to take something for a short period of time. It can be a week. Let me borrow that. I'll bring it back in an hour. Can I borrow that? I'll bring it back tomorrow or next week or whatever. Borrow. You go to the library and you borrow books. And you'll get a card that says, bring the books back in 3 weeks or whatever. You borrow. Take for a period of time and then return it. You can borrow money at the bank, but you have to pay it back. So to borrow and return. Return. To give back. I will borrow the book today and I will return it next week. Thank you. Return, to give back, to bring back. Return, give back. Or I can return to Bangkok from the United States. He returned. Oh, you've returned. You've come back. You've come back. You've returned from America. Return, return, return. Give back. Lend. 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 Lend is to give something for a period of time. I will lend you this tool, this shovel, so that you can work on your garden. But please bring it back next week. I will lend you. I'm not giving it to you forever. I'm lending you the shovel.
Same borrow? Same meaning?
Well, I am borrowing
I'm borrow.
and he is lending. The bank is lending the money to the borrower. I am the borrower. I walk into the bank and say, I need to borrow 20,000 baht. And the bank says, yes, I will, or the bank will lend you the money. The bank is the lender. The person standing there taking the money is the borrower. The borrower will take the money and return it, give it back at a certain time. He borrowed the money from the bank, and the bank lent him the money. Lent, L-E-N-T, lent, past tense, lent him the money.
Just temporary.
Borrow, lend. The library will lend me the book, which I will borrow and return. Stop.
Stop. Stop.
Yeah, halt. Halt.
Pause.
Whatever you're doing, end it.
Ending.
Stop. Stop the protesters. The police stopped the protesters. They stamped out the protest. Stamped it out. Ooh.
Stepping up.
Stop. Stop the car. Put on the brake, stop the car.
Stepping. Step.
Stop. Whatever you're doing, stop. And listen to me. Sorry, sir. Halt. Stop.
Pause.
Yield.
Yield.
Perfect. Perfect.
Profit.
It's right? It's right.
That is the very deep meaning. Yield. Well, that's one meaning down the line. But yield in itself is to surrender. I yield. They yielded. They gave up. Or in this case, to give way. To yield, in other words, a lot of times you'll see signs on the highway, yield.
แปลว่ากำไรไม่ได้
Yield. It means to give way. It doesn't say stop. Yield. In other words, you come up, the road's here, you come up, and the sign says yield. You stop here, slow down, and look to see if anything's coming. If not, you can go. Yield is to give way to the other cars that are on the big road, and you're coming up on the smaller road, and the sign yield. Wait, look, see, safe, go. Doesn't say stop, give way. To yield is to surrender. You can say that the lady, the chief executive of Hong Kong, made a concession. That's the word that we used in the article, concession. The lady also yielded, gave up, said, okay, you win, you got it, no extradition, I yield to you. They didn't use the word yield, that made it almost surrender, like flat on the floor, oh, I give up. No, concession, but she yielded. Yield, to give way. Okay, you win. But then you used yield a return. To give a return. The investment that you make will yield so much money. Will give back so much money. It's a term that's used in financial matters. The investment will yield 6% a year, or 3% a year, or 10% a year. Will give back. But that's in a special situation in a financial terms. To yield, normally, yield would be to give way, to give up. In other words, the army yielded to the enemy. They gave up. They surrendered. They yielded. And in this case, yield in driving the car is to give way. Let the other cars go until it's clear. There's nothing coming, okay, go.
You for like ambulance. You ambulance first. Ambulance.
Have lunch?
Ambulance for patient helping. Ambulance.
Ambulance. Ambulance. Oh, in other words, if an ambulance is coming, oh, right. Okay, so you're driving along the road. An ambulance is coming, you would turn off to the side, at least in America, you would come off to the side of the road and stop until the ambulance went by. If you were coming up to an intersection like this, and the ambulance you would yield away. Yeah, you wouldn't get in front of the ambulance. Whoa, what are you, crazy? No, you would, oh, okay, go. Yield. Well, let somebody else go ahead and stay back. He yielded. He came up to the side and yielded to the ongoing traffic. Until it was clear, and then he moved ahead. Yield. Borrow, return, lend, stop, yield. Surrender, give in. The investment will yield 5% a year.
I know that you is perfect for my like investment. And another meaning.
Well, that's it. Many words have many different meanings, and that's one of them for yield. You give way, you yield, and in a financial situation, it's a return on the investment.